We now know the mother of the suspected Boston bombers was on a terror watch list herself months before the deadly attacks in Boston. But was she also the one planting the seed of radical Islam in her sons?
I would prefer not to live in America now. Why did I even go there? Why? I thought America is gonna protect us, our kids. It's gonna be safe for any reason.
Our next guest describes this mother as a vigilante in the Muslim community. Joining us now from D.C. is to explain the journalist and author of Standing Alone, Asra Nomani. Asra, good to have you with us this morning.
Oh, thanks so much.
Vigilante, a phrase that you have coined now. What do you mean by that? Like an auntie?
Well, in our communities, our traditional communities, when we have elders, we call them aunties and uncles, even if you're not related to them. And so in our communities, we have these enforcers, as we also call them, where they want to put down the letter of the law when it comes to a very strict interpretation of Islam. And so I've come to know these women who do that as vigilantes.
Yeah, there's that old phrase now, see something, say something. Are members of the Islam community saying enough about this yet?
What I find really sad is that we have a verse in the Quran that I think is our see something, say something Quran. It says testify to injustice even if it's against your own kin. And I don't believe we're saying enough. I believe that we engage in a culture of silence and denial, much like the mother of the suspected bombers. And we need to own up to our own issues in the community.
So you think that maybe there's quite a few blind eyes to this radicalism?
Well, what I know is that the FBI is trying to pursue this man named Misha, and that we think that maybe this mother could be a female Misha inside of these boys' lives. I know the Mishas in my community, and I know that every Muslim in their communities knows who the Mishas are, and we do need to call them out, and we need to stop this interpretation of extremism that does exist very much in our communities.
Call them out. Call them out. You remember the uncle right after the bombings happened? He called his nephews losers. Does that just maybe too weak a term? They're just losers. They didn't know what they were doing.
I stood there at his driveway when he made that statement, and I was stunned because what that uncle did in that moment, I think, was more than Muslim public organizations have been able to do with all their press releases and their statements. He denied the shame, the culture of shame that causes all of this deflection. And he owned the problem inside of his community and inside of his own family. And so in that way, I think the uncle actually brought a lot of healing to folks who want a community to acknowledge its problems.
So maybe we need less aunties and more uncles?
We need aunties and uncles, and that's exactly what I think we have to all do, is stand up for a wiser, more respectful interpretation of Islam that actually makes us good citizens, so that those who are out there know that these people do come from our community, but that they are folks that we don't want to have define our community.
Asra, great points. Hey, thank you for being with us on this Sunday morning.
Thank you so much.